Hi there. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're back in court after some summation examination explanations and declarations. Who would have thought that fucking stereoscopic technology could actually come in handy, you know? Though, again, I'm glad that they offered a solution for us who couldn't fucking do it right. Jeez. Anyway. Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. Oh yeah, these two bozos. I see you sweating. I presume you've had the defense counsel's summation examination. Oh, he had, Governor. I did, Gov, I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Cool, blimey. Cure. That's going to be hard work. Early in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you went into Winterbanks. Ah, well, you know, it's Bedlam soon as, wasn't it? It was, Nash, it was. I didn't even have time to pull me ducks out with Lucy Rockets. However, that was a lie. You brothers... Cool, blimey. On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. But we never did nothing of the sort. How did you figure that out? Oh, huh. You told on yourself, didn't you there, pal? You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. Oh, it's gonna be your skulls after he cracks them between your heads. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, Gov. We hear ya. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach. Don't you worry, lovey. A legal entry, the whole truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we had the gunshot, see? Made us both jump up and all that stuff went flying. Lummy, it didn't have to give me a fright. We were thinking the shooter come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered, straightening them in the black. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? I don't know about that. So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Winterbank's countertop on the night in question. No, ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's, more like we tied it up. Yeah. Oh, I don't think he's, having your shit. Ugh. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash. We don't. Can't you make it sound a bit more cutthroat? It can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Winterbanks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. And we'll get to the bottom of it, I'm sure.
Hold it!
If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nash, we ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good. Well said, Ringo, me old China. We'd only add ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact, now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble. Ah, well, it's rotten luck. Says a rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? We never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. We're like we're trying this place up. Sorry.
Hold it!
So what you're saying is... the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things off the counter. Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep it short on. Look, it was loud, all right. Blimey, me dead granny would have woken up with that bang. Big bruv here screamed like a blooming baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked him scales on the floor. You've really mastered working quietly then. What a racket! Big Granny would have been scared back into the grave for a crackle on that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean...
Is that right?
You good, Tobias? And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse. And then all of a sudden, bam! Picture the scene, right? I hear the shot, and the next thing I know, there's a skull rolled across the floor. I'll get back. I'll get to you in due time, Tobias. That deafening bang in the pitch black. I ain't gonna forget that, Lowry, I can tell you. And yet, despite being so scared, you had the composure to tidy the mess you'd made. What do you make of? I would imagine most people would have left the rolling skull and fled without a second thought. Do you want to give the Skulking Brothers a bad name? If nothing else, we're tidy. Well, pardon me for this slander. Love it, didn't give me a fright. We were thinking the shooter come out the door.
Hold it!
Yeah, tell me more about that, I suppose. So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not on your life. It went deathly quiet after that, it did. Put the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, wasn't it? No way that was opening. Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, so we've been led to believe. It was, Gov, it was. From the inside. Right. So we had no way to know what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like, through the keyhole, or a spy hole, perhaps? I don't ring no bells, no light, no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day, we'll really cut the mustard. Please, cut it out. But as we know, behind that door was the victim's lifeless body. with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Gina was in there, unconscious, with a gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right, Gov. That's right. I couldn't have you if we want to.
Hold it!
Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun, at Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Oh, yeah, we was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Good advice, miss. Good advice. Truth be told, me mind went totally blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Mental note made, miss. After that, we laid it down the street, but apparently we looked dirty to the coppers or something. So they clapped derbies on us like winking. And after you've been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Well, yeah. But listen, that proves it, doesn't it, eh?
Hold it!
I don't know, we'll see about that. And why should we believe that? Eh? What? Well, because it's true, isn't it? The place was totally empty when we went in. Oh, I didn't mean to have it on autoplay. At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, these 2 witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbroker, Mr. Winterbank. Correct. You've got it, mister. Down to a T. So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Winterbank. Is that really true, I wonder? That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony? What is it, Runo? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. It is nothing more than a feeling, though. I have no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry. People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take all that in, and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why. That's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Iris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. Yeah, me baby brain. Now let me just go back to this one. Oh, no.
Hold it!
Because, yeah, I believe Tobias had an interesting reaction to one of the previous statements. Let's see. Yeah, the skull, scary stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you look like you're chowing down on those fucking fish and chips, my dude.
Excuse me.
Care to elaborate? Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. No, something to add about their testimony. You seem to react just now to what Mrs. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? Yeah, It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only. Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind, dude? As you know, we brought these photos into the yacht for questioning last night, and the statement they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. But Bob, did it? You claimed that you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here. Eh, fellas? Blind discovered witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be. I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy. We'll get it right this time. That's it. Yep, it's all coming back to me now. Then speak! Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs. Right you are, Gov. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!" Oh, hold it! That's interesting. So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously. We did, Gov, we did. Although, I suppose, if you're being honest, we had a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. A wavering voice, huh? If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun! Bam! Oh shit, he dead. Kind of thing. A career in acting tragically missed. And where were those voices coming from? Could you tell? Yeah, of course I could. From the other side of that door behind the counter it was. From the storeroom, where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Winterbank. On me granny's life, of course it was. On his granny's life, of course it was. So, that would mean that you both knew Mr. Winterbank and the sound of his voice. Eh? So that would mean, what? What, Ash, what? Any ideas? Yes, Counsel, indeed it would. No. We didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when that broken old fancy glove has given us the evil eye? If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true. Oh, on me granny's life it is. On his granny's life it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. You make it sound like we're close, eh? And don't forget we tied up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it, the bloke what owned the place was holding a gun, so I should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl.
Hold it!
That seems like a pivotal point. You're saying that Mr. Winterbank had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah, I bet that was a sight, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other? It must have got pretty heated. I mean, just before he shot out, we heard the geezer say, "If you don't want to get shot..." Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More from empty threat, you could say. Mr. Winterbank was known to keep a revolver on a shot counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course. Good grief! A sworn act of devotion, indeed, but alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was going to shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. Bet he wished he'd squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, give me that gun. And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time, Gov. Give me that gun. Bam. Kind of thing. Yes, career in acting, very tragically missed. Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck, before everything went dead quiet. After that, we done a slapdash job, tidying the place up. Okay, so let's see. Let's review our evidence really quick, like. Ticket, blood samples, manuscript, case notes, paper, autopsy report. Jeez, okay. Now, we went from not having a lot of evidence to having a lot of evidence. Oh, look at that, an examined my stereoscope. Ain't that something? Okay, so... I mean, realistically, in the photo that we've seen, it looks like Gina is the one holding the gun. Even if that, I mean, that doesn't exactly bode well for our case, but it would seem to contradict what our boy Nash is saying.
Objection!
So yeah, let's try and make sense of that. Then again, how would he know, or how were they able to tell who was holding the gun if they didn't go inside? I don't know about that one, man. You're saying that on the night in question, the victim, a Mr. Winterbank, was wielding a gun, is that correct? Yeah, that's it, Gov. You got the picture. He has, Nash, he has. No question. And yet the photographic evidence from the time of the incident clearly shows that Mr. Winterbank was not in possession of a firearm of any description.
Objection!
I mean, yeah, we're presenting evidence that simultaneously contradicts their testimony while also not exactly putting Gina in the best light. You surprise me. Does the defense really intend to highlight evidence that compromises the position of the accused even more? Okay, true, but have you considered that I'm built different, though? Like, at the end of the day, it's my job to find her innocent of murder, not innocent of holding a gun, you know? Attempted murder, or, threatening to murder, I mean, it's a crime, I guess, but, it's not murder, so, yeah, I'm built different. But furthermore, the defense has failed to establish the photographic print presented was taken or suitably a short time prior to the victim's death. Your chronology is severely lacking, counsel. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, too right, Nash, too right. The old geezer could have been about to turn the tables on the girl, eh? Hardly likely. No, I'm afraid this won't stand as conclusive evidence. Ugh. Wait, that wasn't good enough? Continue with the cross-examination, counsel, and heed my earlier warning, witnesses. A skulkin's never skulking. Okay, so I didn't get a penalty, but also it wasn't right. That's, interesting, I guess. Well, that being what it was, I don't fucking know, man. Let's see. Maybe, okay, let's try and tackle it from a different angle. We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered it straight back into the black. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? Is there anything about this door? Maybe the door? Okay, no. I thought maybe like, oh, it was locked before, but now it's not locked. You know, I thought maybe that was the angle. But it doesn't look like it. Yeah, it looks about the same as far as I can tell. Okay, he's got his gun, they got their gun. As far as I can see, there's not like a other window into the storeroom. And there's no way to like, presumably look through the door without opening the door. I mean... Huh. That is curious, to be sure. Let's see... Let's look at this one. But just for the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun." That was was that Windabank's voice? Or was that Gina's voice? I wonder. Let's see. Pop Windabank. Single bullet wound. Instant death from a posterior bullet wound to the heart. Okay, so wait. The bullet entered the body from the back. Now that's curious. Yeah, I don't know exactly. I think the thing about it being a shot in the back might be an interesting point, but I don't know. And I remember, I mean, again, I have an idea, but I'm not exactly sure where I should present it, you know? Like, it doesn't seem like a clear and obvious place. Okay, let's just go through it logically, right? Okay. This statement, I don't think, is wrong. That could be it. Either of these two could be it, because one, that's the new information revealed, and they wouldn't reveal new information if it wasn't relevant to the situation, you know? So, again, curious. I don't think that's it. Let's bring everything back where you found it, in Scarpard. Yeah, that sounds legit. I mean, maybe? I don't know about this one. Okay, so let's just go through it again. We got the tickets. I don't think this stuff is super useful to us right now. Also, why do we still have this in our inventory? It's just, I mean, it's our representation papers. We already filed it, right? Like, I don't think there's going to be a situation where you're going to be presenting that anytime soon. The blood samples probably isn't it. The manuscript isn't it. The case notes. Don't think that's it. Okay, so he shot himself. Well, he didn't shoot himself. He got shot from the back, so presumably he fell over on his back. So, Okay, well, again, I'm at this point where I'm not entirely sure what to do, so I'm going to just kind of throw some stuff out there and see where it gets us. I'm going to try the autopsy report. Seems curious.
Objection!
There's clearly something odd about that. Okay, yeah, no, this isn't it. That's not it, Chief. There's clearly something odd here indeed. Your behavior, counsel. Oh, haha. Please, don't mind me. I'm a stupid little baby boy who doesn't know anything about lawyers. I'm a sad boy. I won't lower my hand until I prove my client's innocence. As long as it's quite quick. Jeez. Wait, no, then again, wait, no, he's holding a gun. But okay, you say he's holding a gun, but here he is clearly not holding a gun, so... Yeah, I think this is actually it. that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winterbank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You've got the picture. Yes, Nash, yes. No question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows... Okay, so that's interesting. So, there's two, like, this is, like, better evidence, so it's, like, right, because... Again, at least they didn't penalize you for presenting the photographic print, because I think it's a reasonable conclusion that someone would come to. But this is better because it's right after he got shot and clearly shows his body not holding a gun. So that's neat, I suppose. That Mr. Winterbank was not holding a firearm of any description. Eh? You what, mate? Gordon Bennett. That ain't right.
Objection!
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Winterbank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as a murder weapon, but it was found in the accuser's hand. Again, that still doesn't change that he wasn't the one holding the gun. Yeah, that mole tooler used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun. Bam. Kind of thing.
Hold it!
Stay exactly where you are. Right there. Eh? If the crime had taken place, if you so colorfully described in your testimony... Oh, yeah, it's the other part of it, too, yeah. If it was like, if they were fighting over the gun... See, that was what I was saying before, right? Like, the fact that he was shot in the back seemed relevant because they could have, like, been fighting over the gun like that if he had been shot in the back. It was that implies it was like a surprise attack, basically. It would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the vital moments that you've just acted out. Oh, goodness! Are you sure, Counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where's the proof that demonstrate this inconsistency and the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments? I see now I can present the autopsy, the autopsy report. I was curious about that one. So you see, I was on the right track the whole time. I just kind of wasn't exactly sure where to present what. According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of, "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with these two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, which means that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. Ah. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. And don't fall off your little box, pal. But it's gold honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. What are you short that night? The shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes. How would you see it if you didn't get inside the fucking... the fucking... How do you get in the storeroom? Come on, pal. Think, man, think. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Winterbank holding a gun. Well, you see. Something like that might have slipped out. Yeah, why you always lying? Why the fuck you lying? Or, I mean, in this case, you actually told the truth, but you were lying before, so... Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim wielding a gun, which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, fuck you, ducky, quack, quack. We've gone and bungled it, gentlemen. Order! 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 Witnesses, explain yourselves at once. Well, the thing is, it wasn't supposed to, Uh-oh. I think Van Seeks is mad. Better hope he didn't just fucking lift that whole table and throw it at you. It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. Am I to understand or to replace the unproofs of your original testimony with renewed lies? Ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, we say we, cut it out, Nash. Cut it out. If we blab now, you know what it'll do to us. He? Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. Bruv, come on. The game's up. But we'll have our guts for garters. The case hasn't quite sunk in yet. No matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On my question, it's now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, do we have to? On pain of death. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can't, like, execute someone for lying. Like, I know perjury is a criminal offense, but I don't think you can actually just straight up kill somebody because they lied, or don't want to lie, or don't want to tell the truth. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Okay, well, gonna be honest this time? Encounter with the victim. Alright, so we just got inside the gav, and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it. Yeah, for an old geezer. The bloke was strong as an ox. He took me over the counter. Oh shit, you got fucking geeted. Jeez. I pulled my gun on him, and then he let it through that door into the back room. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened. What's all what happened, I swear. So you are now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. Well, yeah, sorry. Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But honest, Governor, this time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide. Very well, counsel for defense. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. And I think that moment might have to wait a little bit longer, sadly. Leaving off in a new testimony, or I guess a new cross-examination, that seems like a good place to stop for now. Somehow, I feel like, despite them saying that it's the God's honest truth or whatever this time, I feel like there's probably still some hidden untruth that we've got to discover. Or perhaps, in the process of actually figuring out what actually happened, we learn more. Because if they're saying that they met with the victim, Windbank, before he went to the storeroom, then, well, like the judge said, it kind of presents a pretty different interpretation of the events as we understood them, So, yeah, that's good. That'll be curious to examine, I'm sure. And I'm sure there won't be any more hijinks or shenanigans, It's gonna be all right as rain from here on out. But yeah, next time we will finish this cross-examination and hopefully make some progress in actually not making Gina look like a criminal. But until then, though,